explain what exactly citizen science is to maybe someone who hasn't heard of it before? Because I know I wasn't very familiar with it before your TED Talk.
Citizen science should be an opportunity for people to shape how research is done. And there are traditionally two ways of looking at this. One is everyday people can just look at their natural environments. You can go outside, you can take a picture of something that's happening in your backyard, and there are scientists who want that information. A lot of the really important challenges that we're facing are biodiversity loss and climate, and we just don't have enough scientists to be able to understand those like pressing global issues without support from people. But then citizen science is also a way for science to be more accountable to the needs of the public. And it's a way to highlight the issues that you think are important, and in partnership with scientists, help kind of steer the course of what other people are focusing on so that it's more responsive to your needs. So from that angle, it's almost like making science more democratic.
And it's really important right now because of how polarized everything is, I'm sure.
You know, trust in science and trust in authorities too is incredibly low. And I would say there's this relationship component. You know, if you're working with scientists, it becomes a person. Scientists, just like government officials, are people too. And then you become a little bit more willing to try to understand their perspective just because, you know, we like to work with our friends. But then there's also an opportunity to understand, like, once you do science and go through data collection, you can experience firsthand that it's not perfect, and understanding the different ways that science is vulnerable. We talk a lot about like thinking like a scientist, and to me that's basically critical thinking skills. So I think citizen science is a really good way for people to practice critical thinking skills that will serve them across all life contexts.
Could you explain like a little bit more of what that's like and some of your goals in using citizen science with that project?
So if you go to a platform like SciStarter, you'll see that there are thousands of citizen science projects out there, but they're not sharing information. And the way citizen science works right now is some, but not all of it, is more like oriented towards the local engagements. So if you're able to like bring those different data sources together, you can start to like look at, okay, globally, what is happening to insects, but then also, okay, if we know that it's like pollution from pesticides over here, and there's biodiversity loss like right next to this factory farm, and then we're seeing the same thing in Africa, and we're seeing the same thing in Russia, like that's a way for a scientist to say, I guess pesticides are a really big problem, because we now have like multiple evidence bases from multiple areas around the world that are basically reporting the same thing, which I think is really important for biodiversity and really important for climate.
Do you think like this combination of science and democracy and technology, do you think that's like the future for environmental good? And like, what does that ideal future look like to you?
I really hope so. Citizen science, like by bringing in science and that kind of authority, is like a really complementary approach to driving change. It's a more informed and activated global citizenry. So the idea that everybody is able to use science to think through challenges in their daily lives, and then it also becomes like a focal area where people can come together. So I would love to see the future of the environmental movement include a lot more citizen science, and then also the future of scientific research. I think those would be two really, really helpful developments for society.
So what is something you wish for people at home to know about getting more involved in environmental research around their community?
Wherever people are in their local community, like I bet there's a problem that people are already trying to solve through citizen science. And then the other thing to know about is every single citizen science project that I've ever talked to like needs more people in a wide range of roles. I think younger people are really uniquely, like we have like a unique set of skills that a lot of these projects are lacking right now. So there's like a real opportunity for like mutual benefit and like working together on like equitable terms.
So those are all my questions. I really appreciate you talking to me. I really appreciate it.
Okay, well, have fun and good luck.
Yeah, thank you. I wish you luck too.